Erev Shabbat Shalom. Since today's Erev Shabbat Chazon, it's the last time before Tisha B'Av to do all the things that are asur during Shavua Shechal Tisha B'Av, which is, according to Minhag HaSfaradim, taking haircuts, shaving, doing laundry, wearing freshly laundered clothes, and bathing and showering in hot water. Today is the last chance to do all that until Motzai Tisha B'Av, next Thursday night. This coming Shabbat is called Shabbat Chazon because of the special haftarah that is read this week, Chazon Yeshayahu ben Amotz, who describes what's going to happen by the Churban Bet HaMikdash and the Avonot of Am Yisrael that brought it back. It's probably the most depressing haftarah of the year, and that's why it's read specifically before the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av. There are different minhagim how Shabbat Chazon is supposed to look. The Rama in Siman Taf Kuf Nun Aleph brings down that in Ashkenaz they didn't used to change their clothes. They used to wear bigdei chol on Shabbat Chazon, besides for changing their shirt. That's it. Only the kutonet, and that was it. The Mishnah Berurah brings down that the Gaon Mivilna and those in more Litvish lands didn't follow this. Rather, they changed all of their clothes and they treated it like a regular Shabbat l'chol dvarav. Maran Achida in Birkei Yosef brings this down, and he says, Halacha, the minhag in Eretz Yisrael and Mitzrayim and Turkey and Syria and all of the other Sephardic lands was to treat Shabbat Chazon like any other Shabbat, to change into Bigdei Shabbat, not to take anything away from the foods, to sing Shira Shabbat. He also brings down such a minhag that people had to read certain kinot, which were certain poems that were associated with Tisha B'Av in haunting tunes in Bet HaKnesset on Shabbat Chazon. He says it's not appropriate. Lefi Halacha, the Shabbat is like any other. The Kedushat Shabbat cannot be impacted at all, and a person has to be Sameach V'Tov Lev like any other Shabbat, which means singing Shira Shabbat is also acceptable in the Shabbat. Even on the Shabbat that Tisha B'Av falls out, like last year, Tisha B'Av was on Shabbat, and we observed it on Motzai Shabbat. Nevertheless, Shabbat to Shabbat, you can't touch it. And that's the halacha, and that's the minhag of all the Sfaradim. So although by Ashkenazim there are different minhagim, by us, no such thing. The Shabbat is regular, l'chol dvarav, and you can eat meat and drink wine as you would, even though it's during the 9 days, obviously. We spoke about this last week with regards to leftovers from Shabbat Chazon, leftover meat. There's machloket haposkim, according to the letter of the law, Maran Achida allows eating leftover meat from Shabbat Chazon during the rest of the week, next week. Nevertheless, it's best to stay away wherever possible. Shabbat Shalom and be well.